Hey, this is Deborah with Black Education TV. Now, many of you may have already seen where Florida Democrat Andrew Gillum has won the nomination for governor of Florida. Okay, and now he is having to deal with the statement made by the GOP candidate saying that his win is going to monkey up this election. Now, none of us are surprised at all. This is actually what we expect from them. He stayed true to what he knows. He's trying to appeal to his base. By throwing that term, monkey this up, he's letting his base know, hey, Florida, now we need you to kick in. We cannot let this monkey win. So instead of allowing him to monkey this up, give me a landslide victory over this monkey. He's appealing. Now, we know Florida has a reputation already for its stand your ground laws, where it seems as though if you are black, you cannot use stand your ground, but you can be the victim of it, though. If you are shot and killed for any reason by a white person, that stand your ground is going to be put into force to justify what has happened to you. And so this whole monkey up thing, that was him giving a code, sending out a code. Hey, he's trying to monkey up the elections. We can't let this happen, so I need you to stand your ground in this election. Give me a landslide win. This was totally predictable, totally expected. This is how they operate. At this point in time, no one should be surprised at all at how these people deal. They don't deal fairly at all. When you are racist in nature, these things just roll off your tongue so easily. They just roll right off your tongue, no conscience about it. I feel like it was a calculated statement, though. I agree with what many are saying, that this is an appeal to their racist base to just kind of make sure that you're going to show up. Now, of course, it lands him in hot water, but who's going to rescue him? They're going to say, I can't believe how bad they're attacking DeSantis. They're just attacking him. This is so unfair. He has freedom of speech, and it wasn't racist. I've already seen people saying, well, I refer to my children as little monkeys all the time as a term of endearment. Now everybody wants to play dumb. They're going to play dumb and pretend like they don't know that when you reference anything dealing with a monkey and a black person, that you are giving a racial slur. Even if it's a slight hint at it, these people know what they're doing. Monkey this up. How come he didn't say giraffe this up? Or bear this up? The term monkey was well calculated. You can best believe that. And what I find amazing is how these people believe that we are the ones who perpetuate racism and keep it alive. Not those who are going around committing racial crimes, shooting people, hanging people, lynching people. Yeah, lynchings are still happening. All these hangings that we've seen and heard about around the country this year and last year alone, best believe that these were not suicides. Of course, they reported them as such. All of these black people all of a sudden around the country just decided to just hang themselves from trees in the middle of the woods or off of bridges. Yeah. And I have tickets to heaven for sale. This is what we go through all the time. And so no one is surprised at this point by the goings on in this country. The way we respond to these things needs to change, however. That is what needs to change. And this is where we all have to get our minds to work. And I might add, we need to pray and ask the Most High, how are we supposed to handle things in these situations? What are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to deal with these situations in the land of our captivity? That is what we need to determine, because the way we deal with things is not the right way. I'm appealing to my people now, because most of us, we go off on the deep end. We hear of these things and we just get so angry. I do believe that we can respond to these things, but there is a way. We've got to understand how to respond to these things. All of us, myself included, we need to find a wise way, using wisdom on how to respond to these things, because we already know some things were prophesied. We already know that these people are just stirred up. There's a spirit that has stirred up in them. And so it's kind of like they can't help themselves. I mean, even President number 45, his response was just not shocking at all, but it's true to color, it's true to who he is. He has this racial hatred that is so very obvious. I mean, he tweeted, he says, not only did Congressman Ron DeSantis easily win the Republican primary, but his opponent in November is his biggest dream. A failed socialist mayor named Andrew Gillum, who has allowed crime and many other problems to flourish in his city. This is not what Florida wants or needs. Now, he felt the need to respond to this particular race because we're dealing with a black man running for governor. So he wanted to cue in on that and throw in his race and wanted to insert his racism in that too. So both he and DeSantis are appealing to the racist base of Florida to come out in droves and make sure this doesn't happen. Make sure that this man, Andrew Gillum, does not win the seat of governor of Florida. That's all Trump is doing. He's making sure that he appeals to the racist of this country and Florida, because they always stand true to who they are. Every single time. They never fail in that. One thing I wanted to note, I don't know if some of you may remember this, but years ago there was a black guy he was a local politician, and he won the seat of mayor in a small town. I believe it was in Louisiana. Don't quote me on that, but I said downtown, didn't I? I meant down south. But this black guy won the seat of mayor, and apparently he ended up shot. He had put his sign on his door, had his new sign put on his desk and all of this. And police get there and they determine, oh, looks like he killed himself. They made a quick determination that this black man who won the seat of mayor just decided out of the blue to just kill himself. He was celebrating with family and friends, just so happy, just moving about in his life and in his day, so happy because he won this victory. But there was a message sent to him. He was shot and killed. But they said that it was suicide. They said that he decided to shoot and kill himself. You all should be able to research that story. This happened some years ago, but it just shows just how unfair and unrighteous these people are. And we can holler and scream until we're blue in the face that things are not fair or right or righteous in this country. You're just going to get the same hatred thrown at you each and every time. We have a video that we put up years ago. We were driving through Tennessee, and it's on my husband's channel, Parts of Tennessee. What is the name of the title? Okay, as parts of Tennessee are no place for blacks to mess around in, Klan country is what they call it. That's the title of the video. And we put this video up, and for the longest, it just kind of set at a certain number. I think it was like 20,000 views. We put it up 2 years ago, okay? It just kind of sat around there for the longest. But out of nowhere, I guess it fell into the hands of some racist group or something. But then all of a sudden there was this huge surge. We just started getting all of these notifications just out of the blue on this video. Just notifications. And when you read through the comments, I mean, these people, we were just merely sharing our experience of what happened when we were trying to get directions. We were actually on our way to Holiday, Tennessee. And there was a tractor that was being sold. But when we went to go, MapQuest just sent us around in circles, and we were getting frustrated, so we stopped at a gas station to get directions. And there was a white clerk there who told us, he said, well, you have to drive through Camden to get there. So I just want to caution you to be careful, because the Camden police, they will pull you over. They're just kind of, kind of like that. They'll just pull you over. So you want to be careful going through there. So we're careful drivers anyway. And so we're like, okay, no problem. We'll be careful. And there were some black guys who were kind of looking at us as my husband went in. When on his way out, one of them called him over, and I guess they overheard that we were going to Holiday. Then they told us, they said, well, brother, you might want to be careful going over there in Holiday. That's Klan country. Black folk are not really seen going through there much. You might want to be careful. And so basically what we did, and on our way back home, basically we were just talking about the experience. We had our camera, so we just shared the experience and we uploaded it online. And you can see the countryside as we're driving back home. You see, of course, we're driving back home, so you're going to see the road. We were not in Holiday. We never made it there. But when you look at some of the ridiculous comments, people saying, well, I can't go to Chicago without being killed. They want to throw up the old Chicago bit that black people are just murdering people in droves, white people in droves in all of the inner cities. And they're throwing up the comments saying that we're just so racist. We're the reason why racism is so alive, because we talk about it too much, and just all of these other ridiculous statements. And they're saying that we hate all white people, in which that is not what we said in the video. That is not true to who we are, and that is not true as to what was even stated in the video. They're saying that we sound racist just for sharing what happened to us, or what we, not that anything happened, but what we experienced that day when someone was warning us. Two people, blacks and whites, warned us about driving through a particular neighborhood and going to Holiday, Tennessee. Now, these people know good and well that racism is alive and well in this country and has been for a long time. They know that there are sundown towns. We actually had a white guy recently tell us, we were just having a conversation with him about race and racism and some of the things we've experienced. He wasn't shocked or surprised at all. As a matter of fact, he went on to tell us about the sundown towns, in which we've already known about that. Sundown towns meaning if you're black and you are caught outside past sundown, then only God knows, or Yah knows, what will happen to you. And so for these people to try to pretend, when you look at the comments, it was only a few hundred comments. It's almost 5,000 comments on that video, because these people just went out of their racist minds. It's a spirit in them. They don't even want us talking about racism. How dare you recollect or talk about what has happened to you or your people? You are just as bad as the KKK. You are just as racist for talking about it. So none of us should be surprised at all that this DeSantis character would say this about Andrew Gillum. None of us should be surprised at all. Like I said, he is appealing to his racist base. America is known for its racism around the world. Even other European nations are shaking their finger at America. They're saying, man, we're bad, but not like that. It's a shame when other races look at you like you are the worst kind of racist. When other racist nations are saying, shame on you for being that racist, that's when it's gotten really, really bad. Okay, family, as you see, this whole race issue, the issue of the condition of our people in this country, is very tiring. It's like every single day there's something new to expound on, because something new rears its ugly head. Someone is shot and killed. Someone is stabbed in the neck. Someone is hunted down. Someone is racially profiled. Someone is handcuffed, called out of their name. Someone is in trouble for walking while black, drinking while black, sitting while black. Someone, Becky's and Peggy's and Sue's, are calling police on people for just being black and living and existing. So, do we get it yet, family? Do we understand yet what is happening? How much more do we need to see before we make the necessary changes needed for our people and our families? How much more do we need to see? Okay, family, with that, I will say shalom.